On this video, I thought I'd show you a little bit about the equipment necessary for a home studio. It doesn't have to be that elaborate. A lot of people make it bigger or more than they need to, but just to start, if you want a home studio and you want to get started, I'm going to show you the basic elements that's necessary, and then you can go from there. The first thing you'll need is obviously a computer. You can use an Apple, you can use a Windows, but if you use the Apple, you have the ability to record right in it with the software included for free. Mac has a software in it, GarageBand's automatically included. This is, of course, the upgrade for Logic Pro 10 or 11 now they're at. And this gives you the ability to put tracks right in your computer. You could see this, and then you record by hitting the record button, and then your interface captures what's coming in. If you have a Macintosh, you can use what they already include, GarageBand. This is, of course, Logic Pro 10 or 11. And you pay for this, but you don't have to. You can use GarageBand, the stock program for Mac. If you have Windows, you can use Cakewalk, you can use Reaper. You can't use Logic Pro because it's only for Mac, but Windows also has its own. These are called DAWs. That's a digital audio workstation that's on the computer. You need some interface device. This is a Focusrite Solo. You can use the 2i2 or the 4i4, anyone. They're up to, I think, the 4th generation now. This is an interface. So your headphones come out here so you can hear yourself. Your input for your instruments or your mic or whatever is going in will be right there. And you can record right into that device. You can use Presonus, or you can use a USB mixer, which I also have. So this is a USB mixer. It's a cheap Behringer, but it'll do the job. And it has the inputs, as you can see. Your mic can go into there. And the outputs, you can go right through USB, right into the computer, which is what you would need to get a good copy of your instrument if you're making it with instruments. If you're a musician, you'll of course need instruments, okay? These are some of my guitars and my basses. To play, you have to have some kind of instrument to go into the interface. And then you record it on the DAW that I showed you. The instruments go through the interface that I mentioned, and it comes out to the speakers, and it just records on the DAW that you use. And a timeline goes through, and on certain DAWs like this one, it actually has a drummer track. You can actually record a drummer track, and you can program it. You can change the parameters of it, or you can MIDI it. So it makes it easy. For hip-hop artists, I'm not a hip-hop artist, but you might have beats that you use, and these are already produced music that you buy or a package that you buy in order to put together a background so that you can rap to it. And that's all they do there, and then they put it in the mixer that I just showed you, and they just marry them together and mix it. You should have some kind of speakers to hear your audio when you're mixing or when you're sending it out, or you can use headphones. I suggest these kind of headphones. This one's the DT990 Pro, and this is called open face because you can see the vents there. You can hear outside noise, which helps you in a little bit of the environment. And this is Audio Technica, and these are monitoring headphones. So you don't want to hear what goes into your speakers or whatever, so that the mic picks it up. What I also did is on my roundabout is put these deflectors on. These are just sound. They don't keep sound out. They help to muffle the sound against it if you're mixing or mastering or even doing songs like right here, playing or singing right here it deadens the sound. And I got moving blankets up here as well along the wall. And that deadens the sound so that you don't get any reverberation or reflections, they're called. For vocals, you need to capture the vocals with a mic. This is a condenser mic. Condenser mics are fatter, and they have to use phantom power, 48 volt phantom power to power it. And you can see this one's on a tripod on a stand with a windscreen in front of it. And this is my isolation booth. I made this just out of moving blankets and PVC, and this as you can hear a little bit of the sound, this deadens the sound a little bit. But you don't need that kind of mic. You don't need an expensive one. This one cost me maybe $150, $200, I don't know. It wasn't that much. But there's other mics you can use. This is a Sennheiser 835, I think it's called. And this is a handheld dynamic mic as opposed to condenser mic. You can use this, or you can even use this. This is the most versatile mic in the world. It's a Shure Dynamic SM57. This is used for instruments, a lot of instrument amps, but putting a windscreen on it, you can use it for vocals. Many people have used this for vocals. From Red Hot Chili Peppers to John Lennon. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. But they do they prove that you can do professional vocals with these. You know, they're hot, they're bright, but that's great for vocals. So it gets the high end. And they use these in some recordings, in some vocal recordings, as well as amps. So use this to mic an amp if you had that. But anybody that tells you need that expensive a Newman mic or something, they're full of it. You can do it with just this. And this is a $99 mic every day, all day long, for years. I'd get a couple of them. And then, of course, incidentals like cables, cords, and such, just to run your equipment through. So that's the basics you need for a home studio. You don't have to go much more elaborate than that. And it'll bring in your stuff, even for a demo or whatever you want to do to test your sound and whatever. But that's the basics. It's all you need to start. If you like this channel, please subscribe to it and stay in tune with us. My music is also available here. You can watch it or listen to it. I'm on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, and iTunes.